Hello dear students, this video is based on rank nullity theorem, which is very important theorem in linear algebra. Before stating the theorem, we need to recall some definitions. So take a pause and recall the following definitions. Linear transformation T, kernel of T, range of T, basis of a vector space, linearly independent set and spanning set. Done. Now we can proceed to the statement of the theorem. This theorem is also called as dimension theorem for linear transformations because it deals with the dimensions. Let T from V to W be a linear transformation from n-dimensional vector space V to vector space W. Then rank of T plus nullity of T equal to n, where rank of T is the dimension of range, nullity of T is the dimension of kernel T, and n is the dimension of V, which is domain. Now let us prove this theorem. We know that kernel of T is subspace of the domain V. Suppose dimension of the kernel T is R and U1, U2, UR is a basis for kernel T. Since the set U1, U2, UR is linearly independent, it can be extended to form a basis of the whole space V. That is U1, U2, UR, UR plus 1 up to UR plus K. That means we can add extra linearly independent vectors so that B is the basis for the whole space V. And we know that dimension of V is n. So this number R plus K must be equal to n. That is B contains n elements. Now already we know that R is the dimension of kernel T. Now if we prove that K is the dimension of the range, then we are through. So it is sufficient to prove that the set S, which is T of U R plus 1 up to T of U R plus K, form a basis for range of T. Now you know that for proving basis we need two steps, that is it is a spanning set and it is linearly independent. So let us prove first step that S is a spanning set for the range of T. S is a spanning set for range of T means we have to prove that every element of the range can be expressed as a linear combination of vectors in S. So let us start with a general element W in RT. Now W is in the range, that means there exists some element U in V such that T of U equal to W. Now U is an element of V and B is the basis for V, that means we can express U as a linear combination of basis elements, that is linear combination of U1, U2 up to UR plus K. So U equal to A1 U1 plus AR plus K UR plus K. Now we can apply T on both sides, then T of U equal to W, which is equal to T of this linear combination. Now T is linear, so we can write this as summation AI T of UI, I from 1 to R plus K. Now the first R terms of this combination are 0. So this is equal to AI T of UI, summation AI T of UI, I from R plus 1 to R plus K, because U1, U2, UR are elements of kernel T. Therefore their images are 0. Thus we have proved that W, any element W, is a linear combination of vectors in S. That means S is the spanning set for range. Now in the step 2, we want to prove that the set S is linearly independent. How we prove that the set is linearly independent? So consider a linear combination of elements in S, that is beta R plus 1 T of U R plus 1 up to beta R plus K T of U R plus K equal to 0 bar. Now again T is linear, so this is equal to T of that bracket combination is equal to 0 bar. Now the element in the bracket has image under T is 0 bar. That means that element is in the kernel. So suppose that element is V. V equal to beta r plus 1 u r plus 1 plus up to beta r plus k u r plus k. This element belongs to the kernel of T. But we know that kernel of T has basis containing the vectors u1, u2 up to ur. That means this element V is a linear combination of u1, u2, ur. So we can write V as alpha 1 u1 up to alpha r ur. Now we have two combinations for, we have two expressions for V. So we can equate those two expressions to get alpha 1 u1 plus up to alpha r ur minus beta r plus 1 u r plus 1 minus up to beta r plus k u r plus k equal to 0 bar. Now this is a linear combination of basis elements B, and we know that B is a basis, that means it is linearly independent. So all the scalars in this combination are 0. That means beta r plus 1, beta r plus 2 up to beta r plus k, all scalars are 0. That means the set S is linearly independent. Now S is linearly independent and also it is a spanning set for the range. So it is a basis for the range. And dimension of S is the number of elements in the basis, that is K. So rank of T, that is dimension of range, is K. Thus we have proved that R plus K equal to N, where R is the dimension of the kernel, K is the dimension of the range, and N is the dimension of V, which is domain. Now let us discuss two examples and verify the rank nullity theorem in these two examples. Let T from R2 to R2 be given by T of xy equal to 2x minus y, comma, minus 8x plus 4y. Now we want to find kernel and range for this linear transformation. What is kernel of T? Kernel of T is the set of all xy in R2 such that T of xy equal to 0, 0. Here 0, 0 is the identity element of R2. That means we need to solve homogeneous system of equations. 2x minus y equal to 0 and minus 8x plus 4y equal to 0. But observe that if you multiply 2x minus y by minus 4, then we get minus 8x plus 4y. So actually these are not a system of two equations. This is just a system of one equation. So kernel of T contains solutions of the equation 2x minus y equal to 0. That is y equal to 2x. So kernel of T contains all elements of this type. That means kernel of T is generated by a single vector 1, 2. Therefore, basis is just a single vector 1, 2. Therefore, dimension of the kernel T, that is nullity, is 1. Now let us find range of this linear transformation. We say that A, B belongs to R2 is in the range if T of x, y equal to AB. That means we need to solve a system 2x minus y equal to A and minus 8x plus 4y equal to B. As we know that if we multiply the first equation by minus 4, then we are getting the second equation. So we have solution to this system if and only if B is minus 4A. Thus, the range of this linear transformation T is generated by a single vector 1, minus 4. That means basis contains only one vector. Therefore, dimension of the range, that is rank, is 1. Thus, in this example, we have verified the rank nullity theorem. 1 plus 1 equal to 2. 1 is the nullity, 1 is rank, and 2 is the dimension of R2, which is a domain. Now let us discuss another example where we consider the vector space of polynomials. Suppose Pn denotes the vector space of polynomials with real coefficients having degree less than or equal to n. Then P2 contains all polynomials having degree less than or equal to 2, and P3 contains all polynomials of degree less than or equal to 3. So dimension of P2 is 3. Its basis is 1x square, and dimension of P3 is 4. Its basis contains 1x, x square and x cube. Now consider a linear transformation T from P2 to P3 as T of Px equal to x times Px. So we are multiplying a polynomial by x. Now let us find kernel and range of this linear transformation. Now T of Px equal to 0, here 0 is the 0 polynomial. If x Px equal to 0, and this is possible if and only if Px is 0, that means kernel of T contains only 0 polynomial. Thus, dimension of the kernel T, that is nullity, is 0. Now let us find range of this linear transformation. We say that Qx belongs to range of T if Qx equal to x times Px for some polynomial P. Px is a polynomial in P2, that means it is of the form a0 plus a1x plus a2x square. And then we are multiplying Px by x, that means the constant term must be 0. So we say that Qx belongs to the range if the constant term of Qx is 0. That means range of T contains all polynomials of the form b1x plus b2x square plus b3x cube, where b1, b2, b3 are real numbers. Now we know that this is a subspace of P3. And what is basis of this subspace? X, x square, x cube. That means dimension of this subspace is 3. Therefore rank, which is dimension of range, is 3. Hence the rank nullity theorem is verified in this example. 3 plus 0 equal to 3, where 3 is the dimension of range, that is rank. 0 is the nullity, which is dimension of the kernel. This is equal to 3, which is dimension of the domain. Dimension of the domain is 3 because domain is P2, and we know that dimension of P2 is 3. Now let us discuss one nice application of this theorem. Suppose T is a linear transformation from V to V, and V is n-dimensional vector space. Now we want to prove that T is 1 to 1 if and only if T is on 2. This is not true in general for any function. We know many examples of functions which is 1 1 but not on 2, which is on 2 but not 1 1. So this is in general not true. But for linear transformation from V to V, and it is finite dimensional, then we can say that T is 1 1 if and only if T is on 2. Now this is if and only if theorem, so there are actually two parts. So let us prove one part. Suppose T is 1 1. Now it is easy to see that T is 1 1 if and only if kernel of T is singleton 0. 1 1 means it maps distinct points to the distinct points. So easily you can check this result that T is 1 1 if and only if kernel of T is singleton 0. Just using definitions we can prove this result. Now suppose T is 1 1, then kernel of T is singleton 0 means nullity of T is 0. Now by rank nullity theorem, rank of T must be equal to the dimension of the domain, which is n. So rank of T must be equal to n. But this means range of T is the whole space V. And since the range of T is whole space V, we have T is on 2. So if T is 1 1, we can prove that T is on 2. Now for the converse part, we need to assume that T is on 2, and then reversing the steps, we can prove that T is 1 1. So this is a nice application of rank nullity theorem. Now I am sure that this video is very useful for your study. All the best.